stores, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you on your way. The content it never stays. More positive and uplifting. Once a week the scope gifted. There's zero from fake. Hydration like Boucher.
What's going on, MediaScope Massive? It's been a couple of weeks since I've seen you, but I'm back. Never mind where I was. Actually, so many things were happening. So many things went on where I couldn't get on, and I wanted to do a pop-up, but here it is. Here's the real show. So never mind pop-ups. We may do some kind of pop-up next week, too, to make up for some of these things. This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We're here every week, just about at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Fridays. But if you happen to be listening on Gospel 107.1 FM in Nassau, Bahamas, and the rest of the Caribbean, I wish you blessings. And you get us on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Isn't that lovely? We are truly international. And guess what? If you happen to be watching us on YouTube, we would love it if you did us a solid and liked and subscribed and tell folks about it, because it really does help. And I'm here to create and make news for you. So please help us out with that one. And people are going to be coming on in. We already have some folks that are starting to crawl in. So thank you so much for being here. And guess what? I'm excited because we have a guest today. But, before that, I should probably introduce myself to you. I'm Tachi, as per usual. In case you don't know who I am a media professor, filmmaker, media content producer. I'm also a journalist. And like I said, I'm here to be your guide on this journey through media, tech, and pop culture news. So I hope that everyone is having an amazing Friday so far. I know I am. This is really lots of great stuff has been going on. I've been going to a lot of great conferences. There were two that I went to, which is why I couldn't get here. So I'll talk a little bit about it before we bring on our special guest. One was the Atlanta, well, it's not called Atlanta Pod, but it's Podfest Podcast Summit Atlanta. So I did that 2 weeks ago, and boy, was that the best money I ever spent on a ticket to go anywhere. Now, I've spent money on things before, and I've had some great coaching programs, some great conferences, but by and large, this was amazing. Remember, I told you all, I am not interested in attending things unless I'm getting actionable steps. I don't need inspiration anymore. I mean, yes, I do. But I'm not trying to pay hundreds of dollars for inspiration anymore. Those days are done. There's a point where you have to stop learning and start doing. And those types of conferences force you to learn and then do, right? You feel like invigorated because you have that. So, let's see who we have. Dr. Food Plane. Look at me, Dr. Food Plane. The Food Plane is here. How are you? He has amazing content on his channel on YouTube, all about food. He visits the world through food and cooking. So check him out. How are you? He said, so nice to see you back tonight. Looking forward to this. I'm so glad to be back. I was just talking about some of the conferences, or a conference that I went to. And then I had an AI training the next week. So they all ended up so close to the show and one went over the time of the show, I wasn't able to do it. So I'm happy to be here. And look who's here. Hey, my good friend, Damocles Imperium. How are you? Great week. It's Michael. Yes. Blessing on blessings on blessings. And the same to you. Thank you. No, I didn't give the hug yet. There's no hug yet. So don't worry. The hug is coming. So here we go. This is the hug. It lets you know that I appreciate you being here. You could be any place in the world, which maybe you are, but you're also here with me, which I appreciate you for. So thank you so much for that. Wonderful. Okay, and I know that we'll have other people joining in, but we're going to go ahead and get started because we have an amazing guest, and we're going to talk about some of these things marketing-wise that have been going on in the news. And if you have things to add, please do. So in addition to that, just hang tight because we're about to bring on our marketing guru, and her name is Terry Johnson. And right after this, she'll be with us. Terry Johnson online. How are you?
Hey everybody, I'm doing good. It's a Friday. I'm happy. We're talking marketing. What else could be better?
It's a Friday and it's a holiday weekend. What else
Oh
could be
yeah, I
better?
forgot about that. I forgot.
Even better, it's
All right.
a holiday weekend. So, you've been here before, but it's been a long time since you've been here. You have been you were on Media Meets Brunch with me
Yes.
this was almost like 2 years ago, but you've
Yes.
also been on MediaScope. So it's actually about time. You were due for a visit to MediaScope. So what I'd
Yeah.
love for you to do is introduce yourself to the audience and talk a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay. Well, I'm Terry Johnson from Terry Johnson Online. I'm a marketing specialist. I love to talk about marketing strategy. I have a background in advertising and also government work and private industry. And I try to stay on top of everything that's going on with marketing and marketing strategy so I can keep my clients and everybody that watches me online. I'm talking everywhere. So if you're watching me and listening and following, I try to stay on top of the trends, what's coming, AI world that has everybody confused. I try to make you not confused. I try to make you you're overwhelmed. I'm trying to reduce the stress and the tension of keeping up with all the things that are going on online.
Wonderful. Okay, so that's exactly what you're going to do with us today. And guys, this is what we're doing. We are actually going to talk about a few stories that have been in the news lately, and we'll talk about some of the missteps and how you can actually avoid these types of missteps in what you do in your content online, in your businesses, etc. So we're here to
Yes.
help, right?
Yes.
We are here to help. So before
Yeah.
we get going, let's take a look at, we've got some comments. Fantastic. Oh, we've got flowers. Thank you. 2 bouquets. So you take one, I take
Thank
one.
you. I
Thank you
will
so
take
much.
that. I will take that.
And the food plane said he loves marketing. He's been studying marketing for over 20 years. I
Oh,
love it.
good. Oh,
I
I'm
love
looking
it.
forward to the opinions, all of the opinions. Everybody's
Oh,
voice is
we love
welcome.
opinions.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. We love the interaction. That's what MediaScope is about. We've also got Soror Joan Balcom, who is here. Hello, Joan. Happy Friday evening to
Hello.
you too. Welcome, welcome. Wonderful. And
Welcome.
interesting, Damocles Imperium, also known as Michael, says design alchemist, 18 years of spellbinding visuals. Listen, the
Ooh.
adjectives are adjectiving.
I'm intrigued.
Spellbinding.
Design alchemist. I love that. I
I
want to
love
know
it too.
more.
I spell alchemist, spellbinding, design.
I
Wow.
want to know more.
I do too,
The
because there
words.
are the words. That's it, because there are
Yeah,
so
just
few
drawing
people
me in.
who I'm really
Yeah.
drawn, especially the alchemist and the spellbinding. Listen, now you better deliver. You can't have such a flourishy words and not deliver. So here we go. So, oh, you know what? We're starting off right away with the food plane is the king of
Oh,
asking
okay.
questions. So we're starting off right away with a question, and he asks, here we go. What do you think is the most underrated form of marketing right now?
Oh, a good one. I'm going to assume part of your question is about the form, but my answer is going to be organic marketing. Everybody wants, and we've talked about this a lot this week. Everybody wants to go viral. Everybody wants things to happen. They want to jump over the basis of doing what you need to do, the hard work of, I always use analogies like farm and dating. You have to start digging the ground to prepare for the seeds, and everybody wants the crop, is what I'm trying to say. Everybody wants the
Yeah.
crop, but they don't want to do the work. So I always look at organic marketing, which is you post, you talk to people online, you figure out what's going on, you look at your analytics, but everybody wants the reward. But it's a lot of hard work in there. It looks easy. See, that's the thing. It looks easy, and a lot of people make it look easy, but those people that you follow online and it looks easy, they put in the hard work. You just didn't see it.
Mm.
Everybody wants to be Beyonce, but they don't want to do the work that she did since she was a kid. So and insert your favorite celebrity or whoever, sports person, whoever. Michael Jordan. He started out, practicing and shooting, making his shots and out in the dark, in the cold, and nobody wants to see the hard work. They want the instant result. So I always say organic marketing, which is simply just being online, being human, responding to people, putting up questions, answering the questions, taking people's thoughts and opinions and coming together like we are now. This is organic marketing. Just being real.
Okay, I've never heard it that way, but that is amazing. Organic marketing. Okay, good, good, good. All right, let's see what
Yeah.
else we have here. And Food Plane says, well said. And he
Thank
says
you.
this as well. Marketing today feels less about being the loudest voice and more about being the
Mhm.
most consistent voice. Would you agree with that?
Agree 100%. And that gets back to what I was saying about people see everyone else's success online and you didn't
Mhm.
see the hard work they put in. You just see the success and you want that. That's okay to want it. But realize that you have to put in the work. I think we were talking earlier today on the Biz Chicks. I said you got to put the reps in. Reps is a
Yes.
term from bodybuilding or fitness. Repetitions. They do it over and over. And you go, oh, I want the
Yes.
muscles. I want the six pack. You
Wait,
have to put in the
but there
work.
was a specific thing you were talking about with a six
Oh,
pack.
yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I should have said allegedly today, but Drake the rapper he posted some picture of his newly formed six pack that he was so proud of, but people were calling him out saying that was surgery. So he took a shortcut when you could simply
Allegedly.
do the work. Allegedly, because
Allegedly.
he likes to post the pictures and never say anything. So this was the sentiment, and it was very loud sentiment of a lot of people agreeing, and it looked kind of weird. It didn't look like the bodybuilder that does the reps and they drink the protein powder and they get in the gym 3 times a day.
Are
It
you
didn't
sure
look
it
like
wasn't
that.
just airbrushed?
Well, it could have.
Oh,
Listen, we weren't there to touch his six pack, his abs.
we weren't there to
I
touch
saw
it to
the
see.
picture. I saw the picture and I was like, that's kind of
Okay.
suspect, but
We're gonna have to look that up.
yeah.
Maybe put
I'm
that
not
on.
sure when this was, if it was last year, or it was sometime. So it's it's a known thing, online in some communities where they talk about celebrities, and that was one of the things about him being
Well, since
among
I
his
paid
other troubles
okay.
with
Since I paid
Kendrick
a little bit
Lamar.
more attention. Oh. So
So
yeah, that's the thing. You know what? After the beef with Kendrick Lamar, it would behoove you to just fly under the radar. Don't put anything fake. Don't, because then that just gets it going
some
again.
some people don't learn. Some people don't see the forest for the trees. Some people don't learn. Some people are just tone deaf. Tone
And
deaf.
guess what? It's your body. If you want to do that, good for you.
Yeah,
If you
I
like
said
it, I
earlier,
like it for you.
if that's what he wants to do, fine. But it's we're gonna call you out.
We're gonna, the internet, as people like to say, will call him out. So we've got a couple of comments. Michael says he's rolling on the floor laughing, and the Food Plane is saying if content is king, then consistency must be the king's personal trainer, because without it, the king gets lazy. Listen,
Hello.
absolutely,
Thank you, Food
absolutely.
Plane. Thank you. Perfectly said.
And
So.
he does have another I'm loving the interaction, so keep it coming. So
Yes.
we'll get into our line of conversation shortly, but the Food Plane has another question, and he asks, with so many platforms, how do you decide where to focus your energy? I love this.
Great questions. Great questions. So there's a lot of platforms, so many things to take your mind and attention away from your goals. So I always tell my clients, you start with one. Start with one, and I'm going to say that one is Facebook. Yes, Facebook. I hate Facebook. I want to get on
Facebook?
Instagram. Well, okay, Facebook is the biggest platform with the most reach of accounts and people. and you might be able to get traction on Facebook versus Instagram, where it's crowded and you have to have a certain type of content to be seen. So what do you want to do? Do you want to play in the sandbox where you might be able to connect with your audience, your target audience, or you want to be in the cool club and nobody asks you to dance? I'm like, okay, what do you want to do?
So, but let me ask this. What if the kind of you want to dance? No. What if the kind of content that you're creating is not necessarily suited for Facebook? So, as we know, different platforms have, it's not that you can't post what you want on different platforms, but there's certain
Mhm.
content that resonates more. So, what if you are trying to post things that are more appropriate for Gen Z, for example? Lots of Gen Z people are not on Facebook.
Right.
So,
Right.
in that case, what then?
Okay, so you're right, but here's the kicker. Gen Z
Mhm.
is on Facebook, but they are not scrolling the feed. They're on Marketplace. But
Marketplace. They're on Marketplace,
see,
correct.
yes, and Meta knows this, but in order to get in the Marketplace, what do you have to do? Open the app. And when you open the app, what happens? You see content that draws you in. Also, here's another thing. Gen Z might not be actively using it like Instagram and Snapchat, but grandma and grandpa are there, or an older relative, and they're going to message their relative. They're going to send the Gen Z kid, or I shouldn't say kid, adult or whatever. They're going to send them a message and, happy birthday or whatever. And, the mother might tell the Gen Z, grandma, grandpa left you a message on Facebook. Oh, I guess I'll go over there and see it. So once you're in there, fly trap, you're in there. You get stuck.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
I know Gen Z does not hang out there, but they have family members that do.
Yeah.
And they might
Yeah.
be at a family gathering or dinner or movie or out or whatever. And the parent says, Did you see that? And they show them, or they go. It's flypaper. Facebook is
Okay.
flypaper, even though they're not hanging out there. And also, Facebook it has the largest user base. The interest base is wide.
Okay.
So you may be able to get traction there when you won't get it on Instagram. It
Okay.
doesn't.
Okay.
Does
That
everybody,
that that
you
makes
understand what I'm
sense.
saying?
I do. I
Okay.
100% understand what you're saying, and it makes sense
Okay.
to me. I think there's then the other thing is then what? So you've gotten attention, and
Mhm.
then what? Like, so what's next? Where do you go? You said Facebook, start with Facebook, but in your opinion, where do you go next?
Okay, so then this is where you have to know your target audience. You have to know your people, who you're trying to reach. If you're a business owner, who are your customers? You have a profile. People give it different names, audience persona, and, knowing demographics and psychographics. All I say is just know the person that you're trying to reach or sell to. What do they like? Where do they hang out? What do they like to read? What TV show do they watch? And you'll figure that out with a little help. We got help now called AI. Pick your favorite generative AI tool. ChatGPT is the most popular. You don't have to use it. And simply ask, hey, chat, where does my audience hang out? They are uh, female, age between this and that. They've gone to college or some college. They have a family, or they're single. They have one kid or two. You put all that in there, and chat or Gemini or whoever you decide to use is going to give you some data, some information. Now you're going to double check it, but it's a starting point. And then you're going to say, oh, okay. And you can even ask AI, well, where does my target audience hang out? Where does this person hang out? What app do they like the most? And they'll say, well, Instagram. So then there's your clue. I'll have a presence
Okay.
on Facebook. I'll have a base. Maybe I won't spend a lot of time there, but I will put things there. Think breadcrumbs. You
That's
put
your
down.
thing, breadcrumbs.
I love breadcrumbs. You the crumbs that led Hansel and Gretel They in the for all of that.
Yes.
You have to
Hansel
have
und Gretel.
you have to have a trail for them to follow.
Yeah.
They're not going to see. This is another thing, especially with business owners. They think that they can predict what they're going to do, what their customer is going to do. And I'm like, you can't. So you got to think about all of the ways that you can reach them, because you may tell them, oh, I'm on Instagram and I'm running a sale, and go over there and do XYZ. And they don't do that. Why?
Okay.
Because squirrel, they're busy. Insert reason here. They're not going to do what you tell them to do. They're like little children. Oh, go over here and do this. And a kid is going to wander and get distracted, and you get mad with them, but you can't. So you have to think in breadcrumbs. I'm going to lay this out. I'm on Facebook. Hey, put your post, say whatever. If you're selling on a link in bio or your website, you tell them, hey, go here and do this thing. And you hope that they do it. They may not do it, but you hope that they do it, and you lay out breadcrumbs. That's the customer journey path, that you have to give them a path.
Okay.
Okay.
You have to give the customer a path, and you lay it out in breadcrumbs so they can follow.
You have to have a system. Do step 1, step 2, and you have to keep saying it over and over. Here's another thing. People think online, if I tell them once, they know it or they remember it. No, you have to say it over and over. It's like little children. You have to tell them over and over. Now go wash your face and brush your teeth before you go to bed. You have to say that all the time. And you get tired as a parent, you get tired of doing it, but you have to do it because they're not going to do it. So it's the kind of the same thing. You have to keep saying it. So this gets back to the point where people say you have to do something that you love, that you're passionate about, because you're going to have to hit the drum over and over and over and over and over online. Reps, repetition. And you're going to get tired if it's not your thing, if it's not something you love. You're going to get tired of it, because it's going to take a while to get to that pot of gold that you've got set, that gold, GOLD and GOAL of, I want to have this amount of revenue at the end of the year, or I want to have 10 extra customers, or I want to have this influencer deal with whatever it is. You're going to have to figure out how to get there. And it might be more than one. It won't be a straight path, is what I'm trying to say. It won't be a straight path. So you got to be good with it. And you got to keep beating the drum of do it reps until something happens. And see, most people give up. And it's
it's a consistency. Yeah, and this makes sense. And I love the example you gave relating it to children or anyone, where you have to say, all right, wash your face, take a shower, brush your teeth, because guess what? Clean only lasts for maybe 24 hours. Funk lasts forever.
You think when they become teenagers or young adults that they do these things? They don't. If you're still around, you have to tell them these things. So.
To which I say a resounding yuck. So
you never stop being a parent. I think I said that today. We were talking. I said you never stop.
We were talking, yeah. Absolutely.
Sorry.
Well, we've got some comment question from the food plate. Kim, hey, welcome. How are you? Welcome in. And Serena Lowe is here from the ATL. Lots going on in the A. Thanks for being here, Serena. You're the other Serena that comes in. So we've got Serena, Serena Wills, and then this is Serena Lowe. Good to see you, Serena. So the food plane says this: marketing is a lot like seasoning. You don't need a ton, but the right balance changes everything. Yeah. Well, and as a chef, he's a chef, so it makes so much sense.
I love that. It's perfect. You're coming up with the perfect analogies. Do you want chicken without the seasoning?
Some people do.
Potato salad without the seasoning,
or with raisins.
No, we don't. we don't want that. We don't want that. So So
I don't want potato salad at all. So you can have mine. Go ahead.
Okay, we're not gonna get into that, because I remember you said you didn't like potato salad. So I'm gonna. Mm. And see, here's the other thing I want to say about marketing and food planning. I know you will probably chime in with that. These things that I'm talking about, the strategies change, but the basis of marketing stays the same. You want to be
Yes.
you want to be in the right place at the right time, talking to the right person, and you want to be in the
Yes.
right place. You want to have all those things right. You want to have the right messaging. You want to say the correct thing to attract them. You want to be in the right place. Like if they're not on Facebook, then do a little on Facebook, then move to Instagram if they're there. Or if they're on maybe they're on LinkedIn. Go over there.
Okay.
Maybe they're on
Okay.
Threads. Maybe they're on Pinterest. There's
So
analytics to
let's
tell you all of that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt
go
you.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just excited. So we're gonna come back to your question, food plane. Let's talk to Michael first. He asks,
Okay.
what are the ways you're utilizing chat to break through on Facebook?
And I'm going to assume this is Chat GPT.
Chat GPT, this is what I'm assuming. If
I'm
not,
assuming.
please correct us.
Because I've heard people call it chat or chatty.
Well, mine it's Mrs. PT.
I call mine Jessica. Fran calls hers Charles. There's you make
Charles.
up names. But okay, so just I don't want to get deep into this AI thing because I can, but I really want you to understand the tool that you use. And if we're talking about chatty or chat, you have to train it to know you. That's the best way to make content that's going to reach your audience. What I mean about you is, do you have a website? Do you have blog posts? You have Instagram posts. How long have you been on Instagram? How long have you been on Facebook? How long have you been on LinkedIn? Where have you written things? Articles, blog posts, content. The good thing about these tools is you can do snapshots of your Instagram pages, put them all into a file. You can take your blog articles, copy all the text and put it into a file. Wherever you have content, put it in a file and drag and drop into chat and say, hey, chat, this is me. Tell me all about me. What's my brand voice? What's my value prop? What do I need to do? Who do I need to talk to? Who is my once you put all of that in, it will make your brand voice. It will tell you where you need to go, who you need to talk to, and it will also make your content for you. But it won't be generic content. It'll be content in your voice. See, you have to do that. Most people just use chat out of the box. Make me a post for Facebook. Okay, here's a generic post for Facebook. And then you post it and you make this generic looking image and you post it and you go, yeah, I did something. Guess what? Crickets. And you say, this doesn't work. It does work, but you're doing it wrong. You can't put up generic content. No one cares. Think of it as fishing. It's fishing. You're fishing. What kind of bait are you using to get the right type of fish? If you use the wrong bait, you're not going to get the fish that's in that pond. Because it is not like 100 million species in that pond or that lake. There's a certain type. So you need the right bait to hook that fish. Same thing with online. Same thing with AI. Those are the things you have to do. Okay?
Okay. Makes
Got it?
sense. Makes sense. And
Okay.
hopefully, and yes, he was talking about Chat GPT, just for
Okay, good.
just
Yeah.
so you know. The food plane says, well said.
Thank you.
And yes, the raisins, Michael, the raisins.
Yeah, not the
Let's
raisins.
let's go back to food plane's question. And
Okay.
he says, do you think email marketing is still alive, or is it just the zombie of the marketing world? And I'm picturing email being a zombie. Remember, I'm a filmmaker, so if you tell me something, I picture it being so. What say you?
Food plane, you're on it. Okay, so here we go. Email marketing is not dead. Stop listening to these journalists that write these stupid articles saying Snapchat is dead. This is dead. That's dead. Email marketing is the landline. Does anybody remember those things? Anybody have a landline phone with the actual cord that goes in the wall?
I do
No?
not.
Well, when there's a storm or the tower's cell phone service is down, wouldn't you love to have a landline phone? Pick it up, there's a dial tone, and you get through. Well, that's email marketing. when social media goes down, and it does. And remember back in the day, let's say early 2008 or 7, or I'm trying to remember the date, like when Twitter used to have a thing called fail whale. Anybody remember that? Fail
No,
whale?
do tell.
You don't remember that? So
Fail whale. No.
fail whale. It was when Twitter was down because it was early days because of server issues or too many people on or whatever. You would try to get onto Twitter, and it would put this image. I wish I could find it. It was an image of a whale. I think it was a whale or something, and it would be that it's down. So the service would be down. What can you do when Twitter's down or Facebook is down or Instagram is down? And they used to go down all the time back in the day, in the early days of social media. They would go down. And what could you do? Nothing. But if you got email, you can shoot off an email to your group, to your community. Hey, we're doing this today. There we go.
Is this is the
That's
fail
it.
whale, huh? Okay.
That's it. That's it.
That
The
I don't
early days
remember.
of what? This
That I
we
don't
saw.
remember. Wow.
You would go to Twitter and I'm going to Twitter. I'm going to talk to my people. I'm going to have a conversation about this topic, that topic, that topic, and fail well. Womp womp. You can't use Twitter. The server's down. Something happened. This used to happen to Facebook all the time. I'm trying to remember the last time it happened to Facebook. What I heard from a lot of business owners was they were running ads. And if Facebook is down, you can't run any ads. You can't reach any customers. So they weren't making any sales.
Well, I kind of don't feel sorry for you if that is your only strategy. Why is Facebook ads your only strategy? Because if Facebook goes away, you don't have sales. They do work. No, you're right.
Yes.
They do work, but it needs to be there needs to be triangulation. You need to have more than one method to ensure that you have sales. If it's only Facebook, I'm sorry for you.
Agreed. That's why you have email marketing, that you've gotten their email from the very first touch. Hey, welcome to my brand. Will you fill this email out and I'll give you this whatever, this thing? Sure. You got the email. Now you keep that line of communication open, even though you're doing social media stuff. I'm on Instagram doing reels and the DMs. I'm selling in the DMs and things are popping. And then Instagram goes down. Facebook goes down. You saw the Twitter fail well. Well, how do I reach my customers? Social media is down. Email is still there because email is not social media. It's another protocol. It works on another system on the internet. See? So email is still there. People still open their email. I don't want to hear anything about Gen Z doesn't open email. They do.
People They definitely do. Now, if you say you're going to send them something via email, they're not going to check. But if it's something for them,
it's the landline. It's the landline in case your cell phone goes down and I need to make an important call or I'm expecting an important call. You got to get the email. You got to build a list alongside you wanting to be on Instagram and go viral. Everybody wants to be on Instagram and go viral, and it's all this, it's so much fun, and the celebrities and this and that and influencers, and it's the place to be. But when it goes down, because it can go down, social media is built on servers. There's a cloud infrastructure. The backbone is servers. Those can go down. Email can go down too, but rarely has it gone down in the last few years. Because email in the beginning, of course, it was shaky, just like social media was shaky. So you have to do these things, and I know they aren't fun. Email sounds drab. Who wants to get an email? But you want to get an email. I'm going to tell you a real quick story. I do too. I might not open all of them, but I get them coming. Okay, so this real quick story of there's a business coach and woman I followed for a long time on Facebook. She's built her group up in Facebook. Let's say 200K in the group. I'm not sure the exact number. It's a very large group. So then I think the last time that Facebook went down, something happened, it was big, and she couldn't reach everybody in the group. Well, she sent an email out and said, I can't get in the group because of X, Y, and Z. Something happened. I don't remember what happened, but she couldn't talk to us in the group. The group is very active. They're very enthusiastic followers of her. Anytime she had a product to sell or a service to give, people, it pre-sold because we trusted her. And it's like, I got this new thing and it's going to launch on XYZ day, but everybody was used to going in a Facebook group, couldn't get into the Facebook group. So she sent an email explaining, I can't get into the group, but we're here and let me talk to you and let me give you the link to do this and buy this and do the call to action. And we did it because there was trust built up. There was community built up. Doesn't matter that it was on Facebook and, she couldn't get the Facebook, but she built the email list alongside. So email was the backup and it worked. That's just one example.
That's to say that email is still critically important despite what the pundits and journalists and everybody else says.
I don't listen to people that say this is dead, that's dead. Now, one thing is dead is Google Plus. Now that is dead. And I always talk about Google Plus if you don't remember.
Please don't get me going about Google Plus. They squandered an incredible opportunity.
That's dead. So, well, Google has a reputation of giving us a toy and then getting tired of it and then they put it down and they don't develop it anymore. Like, oh, we're not gonna.
Google Glass, who said that? This. Anyway,
hey,
it is what it is. Hey, and we had. Let's take some comments. Yeah. And G says, good evening. Hello, G. How are you? We just finished her show over on Indie Soup Media. By the way, Terry Johnson is also a creator on Indie Soup Media. She has a great show called Ask TJ about marketing. And we'll put up the graphic for that later towards the end of the show. And no problem at all. He's really appreciates the questions. Of course, this is what they're here for. I didn't come to just, talk to her. We could have a conversation offline if that's the case. So I really want for you all to be able to get the benefit of her and her great wisdom. And Kim says, as much spam email I get, yes, but it's kind of like your algorithm. You have to curate it, right?
Yes, you have to curate it. You have to prune it back. Prune it back or have more than one. I have several. And if I see something that I want to test out, somebody's funnel or their offer, I have a throwaway email. Now I check it, but it's not my main email that's going to get clogged up. So prune it. It's your garden. Prune it.
It's your garden. Okay, so we're going to get back to some of your questions in just a moment, but I do want us to start to talk about some of the things that we had discussed earlier. So, as you know, every time I do something, all of you know I'm into media, and I often try to relate things that I talk about to media. Now, these are all definitely related to media. And so I'm going to let's put up the first graphic, and we're going to talk about this story and this marketing thing. Let's see. Here we go.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh, Cracker Barrel. The barrel full of crackers. Cracker Barrel, you disappointed us. Amen.
What to say?
So for those of you who don't know this story already, let me tell you a little bit about it. So in an effort to kind of to entice new audiences, the powers that be at Cracker Barrel said, hey, you know what? We're going to do a rebrand of sorts, right? Not necessarily a hard rebrand, but some sort of soft rebrand. So what they did is they redesigned the inside of some Cracker Barrel. Now, if you've ever been inside a Cracker Barrel, which, by the way, got its name because of crackers came in barrels back in the day. So Cracker Barrel, okay.
And they would sit around the barrel and eat the crackers.
These are the same people who
I
like raisins and potato salad because that's the blandest
know.
meal ever. Crackers. Okay. I mean, I do like crackers, but crackers.
I'm
Okay.
trying to remember if I've ever been in one. I don't know if I have.
I have been in a Cracker Barrel. I am not there. Well, and you're
Mhm.
originally from South Carolina.
Yeah,
I know
I'm
they've
trying to
got
I
some
might have
Cracker
been
Barrels
one
there.
as a kid. I don't remember. So, I don't
Okay. So we didn't have them like, in New York.
Right. Yeah,
Back
no, they're
back
not
then, we
here.
didn't have them. They're
Yeah.
not up
Yeah,
there.
they're not
So I
here.
didn't have, Cracker Barrel, and that and my mother was like, "We have
I
Cracker
know
Barrel at
about
home."
them. I've seen them, but I don't I might have been a kid. I don't know. I don't
Right.
know if I
So it's definitely they were founded in Tennessee in 1969. It's definitely a Southern thing. And so it's called Cracker Barrel Old Country Store. So it kind of has this nostalgic feeling of the general store, right? So when you walk into
Yes,
a Cracker Barrel, the first thing you
homey.
see is all this stuff. That's the best way to. So it's wooden, lots of barrels full of things like little toys and games and tchotchkes and y-
A
stuff.
folksy attitude.
Very
That's what
folksy.
Cracker Barrel says, that it's a folksy attitude, family oriented, homey style. So,
Eh, So let me
homey.
know if you've ever been in the chat, if you've ever been to a Cracker Barrel. What they're known for, crispy edges pancakes, I guess. I haven't eaten
Really?
there enough to know. Yeah. Like the
Oh,
pancakes with the crispy edge, which I like. So, some
yes.
people just kind of make pancakes with, I like them with the crispy edges if I'm going to make pancakes.
Yeah, there's a
So
way
you've
to
got
do
the
it at
fruit.
home, but, you don't have
Yeah,
to go
no,
to
and
Cracker Barrel, but there's a way
yeah,
to do it at
yeah.
home, but
I know
so
how to make crispy edge
yeah,
pancakes
me too.
very well. Thank you very much. I
Me
learned
too.
when I was like in grade school. So when I was 8, I started cooking. So, yeah.
Me
So,
too.
but this is the thing, for those who don't have the, benefit of cooking at home, but they like to just go out, people really enjoy Cracker Barrel. Most Cracker Barrel now, here's the thing, Cracker Barrels is not just about the restaurant. The Cracker Barrels are
Mhm.
not. They are real estate. So Cracker Barrel is
Yeah,
really a real estate company because if you
yeah.
look at it, they're always right off the highway, which means they
Yes.
own all that land, like, right off the highway. That is a powerful position to be
A
in.
lot of
The Cracker
land.
Barrel is not just an old-time restaurant, they are also a real estate company, okay? Let's be, clear and get that, clear, 100% clear. So, and I'm coming to your questions in a moment and your comments in a moment. So, what happened, and I'm going to put this back up again, is in this rebrand, they said, "We're going to go from this logo on the left, which has the barrel, and this man is named Uncle Herschel, to this on the right. This, what do you call it? A hexagon, a yellow
Um,
elongated stop sign.
oh, just a label,
It's
just
a
a
label,
shape.
print label. It's a shape.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
instead of brown lettering, as you can see on the left, it is black. Now, if
Okay.
you look at the menu, it doesn't look bad on the menu, does it?
No,
I don't
no,
think it looks bad on the menu.
it looks great on the menu.
It looks fine, but
Yeah.
as a logo itself to replace with the this, it's too big of a change for people. That's
Well,
what they found. So I
let's
want you to talk about this.
let
Um,
and yeah, let's talk about the people, because
let's talk about people.
who's the customer? I always like to say, who's the target audience?
People who
It's
wear overalls.
overalls over a certain age, probably boomers. Let's say in the areas where the restaurants are, southern part of the country. So, and there's another thing we like to say, who asked for this? They didn't ask for it.
Yeah, they asked for it.
They certainly didn't ask for
Who
this.
asked for this?
Nope, they didn't. So if your people didn't ask for it, why are you doing it? They're doing it because this is the same thing that Bud Light did a few years back. They want to change the demographic. We want more customers. We want millennials and Gen Z. How do we do that? Well, we got to get rid of that man in the barrel, and we just got to be old bland generic Cracker Barrel. That'll fool them, and they'll come and they'll eat in our restaurant. Somebody had the bright idea to do that. Was it. They want to expand their demographic. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes, you see, I'm getting myself together because I can. Let me get myself together. Let's sit up for this one.
Same thing the CBS network want, that they skew older and they know it. They want to break out of that. So that's why the
because
South Park
these people,
thing is
I'm
coming.
sorry to say, are not going to be around forever. You need more people to eat your crispy edge pancakes and your savory hash browns. So they're trying to appeal, and I understand that. But what good is it? What is that? My mother used to love to say this: a bird at hand is worth two in the bush. So you have a bird at hand, and you're tossing it because you're trying to get the bush meat.
So this is kind of, I don't know how it went with Cracker Barrel, but this is kind of how it goes. They go to their advertising agency and they go, we want to shake things up. We want a new customer. How do we do that? The agency discusses it, looks at their stuff, and they say, okay, you got to get rid of that maybe possibly racist logo. It may be racist to Gen Z. It may not be, but it looks like that to them. It looks old fashioned, old timey. Gen Z doesn't like anything that has to do with old people. So let's remove it. And they go, oh, they're not sure. Cracker Barrel, not sure. And they go, okay, we'll try it. And you see what happened. So they had to go back to it.
See, but you know what they did when they were trying to rebrand, for example, Aunt Jemima?
Yes.
They gave her a curly I'm sorry. They gave her a curly perm and took away the kerchief so she looked less slave-like. She looked less enslaved.
But didn't they they removed her completely, right?
And then they removed her completely, right? But that's the thing, small changes. Audiences don't like big changes. So they do things a little bit at a time. They just plucked Uncle Herschel from his chair, removed the chair and the barrel, and sent him packing with a stick and a handkerchief on the end like he was a hobo. That's what I picture. So instead of doing that, could they not have shifted it a little bit?
Okay, so this is I'm assuming, I'm not sure the details. It's because the company Cracker Barrel looks at their sales and they go, we need more customers. Well, we're not going to get more boomers. We already got boomers. Can we get Gen X? Well, maybe. Can we get millennials and Gen Z? Yeah, but they're going to look at that logo and they may think racist, or they may not like it because it's insert reason here. So instead of talking to some Gen Z and millennial folks and asking them, hey, what can we do to change things and make you guys come in and eat in our restaurant? They didn't do that. They just assumed, let's get rid of the guy. That'll do it. And let's just make a bland label. And they want to make it bland because it doesn't stand out. Nobody will get upset. No one will because Gen Z, they get on TikTok and they protest and they talk about this and they come after things and
but it's ugly.
Yes,
look
ugly.
At it. It's so ugly. It makes me wonder if this was not just a publicity stunt.
No, I don't. No, I don't think it was.
I don't think it was, but there could be that conspiracy theory of
they're not that savvy. This is Cracker Barrel. No, it's Cracker Barrel. What, 1969? They don't have a bunch of Gen Z working in the home office or the corporate office. It's all.
And I bet that corporate office has orange shag rug and wood paneling on the walls. Let's take some comments because I see that we have quite a few comments.
Yes.
This one. Let's see. So Michael says, great night of questions. If you had to make a bold prediction, what's the next major shift in online marketing over the next 5 years that most people aren't preparing for yet? Hold that thought. We're going to come back to it. Let's just go through some of these. Let's see. And he knew I would bring this up. I was going to bring this up. If we're talking about marketing and we're talking about current things of marketing, you knew this was going to be story number one. Yes. And thank you. We need to say they changed it back.
They changed it back. They did.
They did change it back. We've heard you. Where's our thank you so much
See,
for
that's what I'm saying. They don't want to. They alienated their core audience. You don't want to do that, so they immediately retracted it because they knew they made a mistake. Now they're rethinking it.
they're rethinking it. This kind of
Mhm.
reminds me of Essence Fest and what was going on with that. And I've talked about this ad nauseum, and we could broach that in a moment. But
Yeah,
Food Plan says if it's not broken, please do not fix
it
it. And I
ain't
said that in
broke. Don't fix it. Yeah.
exactly. And folks are big mad about that change. And here's the thing. I
Mhm.
think it was also exacerbated because certain factions tried to tie this to a quote woke agenda. So I think it was blown up bigger because there were certain factions that also tried to make this political. So, in
Right.
addition to alienating the people that are your core base of customers, you now added some other people who are willing to get angry over anything, over a
And
paperclip, by saying it was a woke agenda.
and don't forget that the guy, that guy who shall not be named, he weighed in on the Cracker
He
Barrel.
did. The person that's the occupant of the White House actually did weigh in on that as
That
well.
guy. Yes.
So so everybody was weighing in on it, and I think not that it's a non-issue, but it was made much bigger than it should have been because there have been
Mhm.
other things before. Let's look at I
Yeah.
keep using the example of Coke, classic Coke versus new Coke.
Nuco? Yeah.
Back when we were small, and who asked for this?
The
Nobody
original,
asked them
who
to
asked
change to
for it?
Florida.
That's the
That is the
original, who
original
asked
who
for it?
asked for this. Who asked for this? Nobody.
I
Nobody. People were just drinking their carbonated caramel colored soda very quietly in the corner. And you said, oh, well, we're going to change who asked you to
'cause
do such?
they want more sales. It's a corporation. They want to increase sales. That's why.
Absolutely. Now, what happened with that? Where's your new Coke now? Hmm?
Disaster. I think there was even a movie about it.
It was completely disastrous. So, folks, you're right, G. We're big mad about that change. And Kim says, I haven't been to a Cracker Barrel in 15 years while traveling to Tennessee for work because, yes, they
Mhm.
are headquartered
Mhm.
in Tennessee.
Mhm.
Saltines and Ritz. Are you saying those are the crackers you like? Or that would let me know. Um, G says, I'm not their target because I am not Cracker Barrel's target customer at
Exactly.
all. At all. So this, I was just like, it just fell off my shoulders. But other people were big mad. But I'm like, I really don't care because this is not
I
my target audience.
I
I mean,
never
I'm
thought
not their
about
target
Cracker Barrel
audience.
before this. I didn't think about them before this. I was like, "Oh, they still around?"
And it was also cheap. So I think that's the thing
Hmm. Me.
too.
Mhm.
This appeals to people that are looking for a good quantity of food, a large amount of
Yes.
food that I guess is fairly tasty,
Yes.
and for a cheap price, where
Yes.
you could take your family out for because
Mhm.
it's full after church on Sunday.
Oh, okay. They
That is the big thing, that to go out after church on Sunday. So Cracker
Mhm.
Barrels are usually full
Mhm.
after church on Sunday. And let's see, Southern Games and Prizes. Yes. Well, we do
Okay.
have there's a Cracker Barrel here in Florida.
Mhm.
South, I
Okay.
know North Florida there are, but South Florida, I know I don't know, Coconut Creek or something like that. Let's see. And the food plane says, in my professional opinion, the new logo didn't make a statement. It was blah. It didn't say anything. It said, we came up with this on the back of a napkin inside a Cracker Barrel 2 minutes ago. That's exactly
Yeah,
what that
they
said.
were playing it safe. They didn't pull a Jaguar. They were trying to be safe.
Was that safe?
Ja
Clearly, it was a
it was
risk because people hated it.
they thought it was the safe move, you know. They didn't really rip the Band-Aid off. They could have really gone to
You know what
town
it
with
was?
something.
It was the removal of Uncle Herschel, I think.
Yes,
Because
that
if
that
they had just kept the oblong circular thing with it with not the barrel, but just the let me put it up so you all can
yes,
see.
put it out so we can Remind
Yeah,
you,
it's because I'm
refresh
just
our
sitting
memory.
here drawing and you're like, what?
Yeah, like refresh
So
our memories.
so take a look
Okay.
at the barrel, take a look at Uncle Herschel. Now just take a look at the where the Cracker Barrel sign. If they had
Yeah.
just kept
So
the sign, what do you think
yeah,
about that?
I like the menu. Like we were saying, what's on like the menu part of it because the food is there, but
Right.
that really can't be the logo because you can't put the food the way it
Right.
is on the
I
menu.
think it's okay if it's on the menu and don't
Mhm.
change the so you've kind of got a soft rebrand there so that people are you they may notice, oh, this is different on the menu, but you angered people by sending Uncle Herschel packing.
See, and here's another thing. They got rid of the line Old Country
Oh,
Store. Was it Old Country Store?
yeah, they got Old Country
Yeah.
Store. They got rid of that.
That tells me that
So
they wanted to get rid of all the anything that has to do with any kind of maybe it looks old fashioned, maybe it'll bring up, some kind of feeling with Gen Z that this is not our place because it says old. So
and that's exactly I think what angered some customers because there is this feeling and again, things don't exist in a bubble.
right.
Change happens like kind of all at the same time as there's social change, political change, etc. So because of the situation that we're in now in this country,
Mhm.
this is another thing that feels like it's being they're taking
Yes, you're
Uncle Herschel
taking
away.
yes,
You are taking
yes.
away
Um,
our Uncle Herschel, this
yes.
fictional character that sits on. You are taking it away. It is completely irrational, but to them, it's rational. To people who
Yes.
feel like they're losing a lot of things anyway, it's rational.
It's one more
So
thing that they've lost. One more. And we can't take any more.
he'll bring back Uncle Herschel. So guess what? Cracker Barrel didn't want that smoke. They brought Uncle Herschel back. So let's keep going
Yeah, let's
with
keep going.
this. Hold on a second. Let's go back because I lost my place now. Okay, so in my professional opinion, we got that. Okay, Kimmy said
Mhm.
the food was okay. Yeah, it's just okay. It's not
It's a
like
meal.
it's breakfast food. First of all, when I went, I had breakfast food. I didn't have I'm not the one that will go and people are like, "Oh, I want steak." First of all, I
Right.
don't really like red
Not
meat.
there. No. No,
So
no, not there.
I'm not going there to eat a meal. I went
Right.
for breakfast. You have to
Right.
be really terrible to mess up breakfast. It was okay, but it wasn't like, "Oh my gosh, did you have that omelet?" It wasn't. It wasn't. If I don't go to a Cracker Barrel again, I'll be okay, you know? Let's see. So G says, "I've gone because I was invited. Got a breakfast flight." Exactly.
See,
That's the
breakfast.
thing. That's the thing. Actually, I think when I went, we were online. That's when we went. So so all 42 of us went to eat at Cracker Barrel. I think, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That must have been a sight.
um yeah, they're like, "Oh, what's going on?" We were just like, "We're missionaries," because we had on white. We're missionaries.
Missionary. Oh
We're not
my
gonna
gosh.
explain to you.
Yeah, no, no.
Let's see. And Soror Jones, speaking of which, says, "Yes, I have visited Cracker Barrel while in Amish country in
I see.
Pennsylvania." So I didn't so
Okay.
it makes sense that it would be an Amish country, but how do the Amish get there?
Yeah.
I guess the Mennonites take them, I guess, because they can drive, but the Amish cannot. Food Plane says again, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." And Food Plane says the old logo tells a story. It does.
Yes, it
It
does.
does tell a
And it's
story.
familiar and comforting to the core audience. It's familiar,
Exactly.
comforting, like Dr. Tati said, in these times. So
And Michael says, "I believe they were trying to recreate the shape of the bear." Well, who drew it? A cat?
it's just
Because
a
it was terrible. It doesn't
regular
look like it.
shape. It's just a shape.
It's got 6 sides, which is what? 6 sides is a hexagon? No, that's
They didn't even try to
I
make
don't
a
know.
barrel. That tells me they didn't want the barrel, the man, or the old anything to
They
do
didn't
with.
want you, Uncle
They
Herschel.
didn't want
They
all
didn't
that.
want you.
They
They didn't
wanted to
want
cut
you.
their ties.
Uncle Herschel, if I were you, I would say, "Yeah, I'll come back, but it will be at a price." Make them pay for it, Uncle
Right.
Herschel. And Kim Gibby says, unlike Popeyes, who recently updated their stores, did they? Now, okay, this
Mhm.
is interesting. Now,
Oh,
I
they
saw
did.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, now, again, I haven't been to a Popeyes in forever. But one thing, if you look at the Wendy's, the new updates of Wendy's, McDonald's,
Mhm. Mhm.
KFC, all of these things, they look very slick, right? Even Starbucks or whatever. They
Okay.
look
Mhm.
very slick. And people are like, so if you remember the old McDonald's building and and
Yes, with the
Pizza Hut
arches
buildings
and
and stuff,
the yeah.
right? They
Mhm.
had a very particular look, and people are like, oh, they're changing that. Okay, well, there's a reason. They're not there to be your friends. This is business. It is
Yes.
easier if you decide you want to close some stores to sell a building that is nondescript than one that looks like a McDonald's.
Yeah. What do you do with it? Nothing.
What do you do
Turn
with
it
it
into a
exactly?
McDonald's.
Now it is kind of cool if you, because I've been in you probably know this. So if you've ever been to the Bronx,
Mhm.
uh you know, under in Kingsbridge, under the bridge, like all those
Yes.
stores are there under the bridge.
Yes. Yes.
So my favorite, there was not a Filene's basement, but was it a Filene's? No, it was a it's like a Filene's basement. I can't remember the name of it, but I love that store. And so went inside the first time. I said, "This used to be a skating rink."
A Loman's?
Loman's, yes.
Loman's?
Loman's. So it was Loman's. I said, "This used to be a skating rink," and you could tell because you go inside and, you know, you have the wooden round area, and I'm like, "This,"
You can
and I
tell.
could tell by
So,
the entrance, really. I said, "This was a skating rink."
right.
If
This was a
nobody knows
skating
skating rinks, I know skating rinks. I was an avid skater, so I know this. So there's not a whole lot you can do with that without people being able to tell. And then maybe they don't care. But if it's the type of place that you don't want the building to speak for you and you want the product or service to speak, maybe you want something nondescript, like, oh, yeah,
right.
that this used to be XYZ. So this is why
Right.
you're seeing this kind of, in addition to kind of making things slickified, you see this morphing to the one type of ultra modern look because of that.
Nondescript.
It's a
Nondescript. Yes.
nondescript. It's a business
Mhm.
decision, and I'm here to be your
Yeah.
friends. What do you want
Yeah.
me to say?
We're not here for that.
No, absolutely not. So G used to actually work at the Container Store, and she said she was upset when the Container Store changed their logo, but I didn't act like this. Listen, there's no reason to act like this. This is foolish. We
It
understand where it
it's
comes from
because
and
of
why
the
it's
core
happening.
audience. Yeah, it's because of the core audience of Cracker Barrel that like you said, that they were used to a certain way, a certain thing, and you changed it. And the older you get, the more resistant you are to change.
Right.
You don't
And
want
this is
things
an
to change.
audience. Cracker Barrel's audience is a type of audience that does not like change. They're the ones that reminisce about the old days. They
The
like
good
things
old
the way
days.
they are, the good old days. They want to go back there. They don't like change. So the smallest change you make, riots.
There you
Let's
go.
see. And the food plane says it's interesting how marketing is shifting from just selling products to building communities, almost like people buy into the story more than the product. What say you?
That has a lot to do with the way we do things with social media, and like you said earlier, things have changed. If you remember, Procter and Gamble made the soap opera because they wanted to sell soap, but it turned into something else, the soap opera drama. But they were doing that to sell soap. So you have to kind of make content or make situations where the customer is going to want to buy. So now we're in this area of social media and community and interest based. Everything is, birds of a feather flock together. I always say, like, the people that like certain things like to hang together and talk, because you have other people outside of the community that want to denigrate or say negative things or hate speech, whatever, insert the word here. So a lot of people want a safe space. So if a business can do that, build a community where their core audience feels safe and they get what they want, they kind of feel better to be in that area. Plus, if they're in a community, the business or the brand knows that they have their core customers there. They can serve them and make them happy, and word of mouth, they'll talk to other people in their circle and bring them in. So it's kind of like having a safe space. That's where we are now with marketing.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you.
That's where we are.
Let's take some because we're going to wind this down. We had some other
Okay.
stories, but I'm so enjoying the fact that the audience is participating that all we needed was
Yes.
that one, basically.
Yes.
All we need is one mic, in the
Yeah.
words of Nas. So let's take some more comments. Let's see. G says, I don't visit any business due to the logo. I couldn't care less. Yeah, they care
Right.
though.
Right.
I shouldn't say
Right.
normal human beings, but people who,
It gets
because
back to the demographic.
they
That's
don't
what they
like
care.
change.
Yeah.
And I
It's
think
like you
there's a
said
thing I'm
about the
like,
woke. It's like you said about the woke
right.
before, that part of it.
But do woke
They
pancakes taste different?
they
Do
took
woke
it
pancakes
personally.
taste different?
Who knows? They took it personally. So
They did. But when you eat,
you don't eat the
despite what the logo
logo.
looks like, do these taste like, oh, these are woke pancakes? Or these pancakes, they didn't change fundamentally anything food-wise, and that's what matters. But again, we're
Yes.
talking about people who are, to me, I want to say it's irrational to think that way, that
They're set in their ways.
they're set in their ways. I don't want to say it's irrational. That's not nice, but in a sense it is, because it's not rational to think certain things the way to behave in this way, where there's like a riot on the Capitol steps because of this,
Right.
basically, right?
Exactly.
So
And this
they
group
went to,
they're loyal they're brand loyal more than the other generations. They're brand loyal. They stick with a brand. They buy a Buick, they bought a this, they bought a that, they bought a certain type of washing machine or certain this, or they're very brand loyal. So
exactly.
yes,
Change is inevitable. You're right.
I
It's going
agree.
to happen regardless of what we like. So G has a question. Does a company need to get a customer's buy-in when evolving? I love this question. What
Oh,
do you say?
okay. This is a good one. You kind of have to talk to your audience. You have to you not that you're getting their approval. And I'll tell you, when I was in advertising, we used to do focus groups and lots of research, and it's lots of data, because you want to keep your core audience, you want to keep that, but you also want to expand and get more customers to come in. But you don't want to make too much of a wave to where you upset the core people, but you want new people to come in. So it's not like they need the customer's permission, but some of these brands and companies don't talk to the audience at all or get their input in any kind of way. Like I said, a survey, a focus group, data studies, asking, they don't do that. They just go, well, we're just going to do it. This is what happened with Cracker Barrel. We're just going to do it because we want X. And I'm not sure of the process that somebody in Cracker Barrel's corporate office said, do this, do that, and they just went with it without getting any kind of feedback or input from their audience and from the new audience they wanted, say Gen Z or millennials. They didn't talk to them, not at all. So they didn't get anything
Meanwhile,
accomplished.
Uncle Herschel is sitting there like, don't you
I
have something
told
to
you.
say to me?
I told you so. You'll be back. You're back.
You'll be back. You'll see. You'll be back.
You'll be back.
Serena,
Miss
how are
Hamilton?
you? I hope you're feeling better. She hasn't been feeling well, so I hope you're feeling
Oh,
better.
okay.
So she
Yeah,
says,
feel
don't be
better.
like me and be gluten-free, dairy-free, and barely have anything. They barely have anything on their menu for people like me. So they definitely need to work on expanding to attract a broad. Oh no, sorry,
Yes,
Serena.
yes,
They
they
do,
need.
but those are that's exactly what they need to do. So instead of trying to overhaul, what you need to do is be, dare I say, more inclusive when it comes to that, because inclusivity is good business for
Yes,
people that
yes,
that are dairy free, for people that have allergies. Have a part of the menu where you can go anywhere and there are gluten free and dairy free options. There are vegan or vegetarian options. There are,
right.
there are things like people who don't want cholesterol. You could get egg whites. I don't know if they have that, but instead of overhauling the way they were doing, you could make changes like to your menu to be
But
inclusive.
you have to talk. You have to talk to. You have to talk to the audience. You have to talk to the people outside of the company, which is something they did not do. Because there's studies that talk about we're more health conscious. We're moving towards that, more mental health, more this and that. So if you open your eyes as a brand and pay attention, you'll see that. But most of them, like I said, are insular. They look at the
Very
numbers and they
insular.
stay inside of their little ivory tower and they say, well, we want more customers. What can we do? We'll change the logos. We'll change the colors. We'll do. They don't talk to people. Simply talking to people on the street. Hey, what would make you go on a Cracker Barrel? What would make you do this? Do you have any food sensitivities? What could we? They don't do that. They just do what they think is right. And it turned out to be wrong.
So
Did they
there.
learn a lesson? Probably not.
Probably not. This is the thing. We never learn. Humans never learn about things because it keeps repeating. So at this point, I just shrugged my shoulders.
And
So
then
let's take a
some of
few
the
more comments. Go ahead.
real quick, some of the brands they don't know what do we do? What do we are? Talk to your customers. Talk to the customers you have and ask them how can we improve, on our products and services to make you happier. They don't do that.
Absolutely. And guess what? Some of these older people, they're retired. They would love nothing more than to come into a Cracker Barrel and be inside a focus group. They would love that. So Michael says these people with the loudest voices about the situation didn't see the disrespect from Cracker Barrel, not including them in the decision. Hashtag fools. 100%. You're mad, but they didn't ask you in the first place. That's the disrespect. All right, whatever you say. And okay, it's also in the suburbs of Philly still. Interesting. Did not know that. Did not know that. Food place says Popeye's got that crunch down.
Oh yeah, they got that.
They
crunch.
do. So I've been to
that.
the original one in New Orleans. Oh my goodness, it's so different from a Popeye's elsewhere.
Yeah.
So
because franchises.
So Serena says Cracker Barrel has zero options for any of that. Small things here and there that aren't appetizing. And they figure it's the same thing.
They have to care about that. They have to care and they don't care. They really don't.
They don't. Honest. But you know what will make them care? Losing money. That's the only way they're going to care. And very soon they're going to have to start to appeal to more people than just their base. So they need to, again, find a way to do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Agreed. That's why they did this label change or logo change and it was still advised. They could have done something else and they didn't take the proper steps to figure out what that something else would have been.
So as our final thing, as we're winding down, I'll give you the final say. And thank you everyone for chiming in. How can we, so all of this that we were talking about today, how can we really involve these missteps in our businesses and with our content?
Well, so I've said it before, the lesson with this Cracker Barrel situation is you have to talk to your customers. Even if you're online and you're not a brick and mortar in real life location business, you cannot sit in an ivory tower and dictate things and say, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that because I think my customers would want this. I think my clients would want this. The two words you made a mistake was I think. It's never I think when you're a business or a brand. It's let me talk to my customers. Let me see what they want. And you simply ask them, what do you want from us? What could we be doing better? How could we make you happy? When you do those things, you give them what they want. They open their pocketbooks and they spend. They give you credit card and they spend. It's not something that is difficult to understand. It's because the business and the brands go, okay, my thing is so great. It's so wonderful. Everybody wants it. Did you ask anybody? Who asked for that? Did anybody want it? Did you take the time to find out? No, you have to find out. So you can't just wander around. Well, we're just going to try to figure out what it is because we want more customers. We want more sales and revenue. Hey, let's change the logo. Hey, let's do that on a whim. You have to find out. And it's not impossible to to find these things out. It's just that they don't want to, they don't care. They want to keep doing the things the way that they've done them. And for some reason, a lot of businesses or corporations do not want to talk to customers. They don't. I don't know why. They're afraid.
Could be because they don't want to hear what we have to say.
They don't want to hear the criticism and any kind of criticism because they think they're so wonderful. So,
well,
that's it.
Wow. Well, this was a chock full session. First of all, we're going to have you back because you see there was a whole bunch more we had to talk about. But so we'll just have you back as these things happen. I will call on you to be our expert witness in all things marketing. So
answer the call.
Yes. I do want to say that Terry talks about a lot of different wonderful marketing things on this show. Ask TJ About Marketing. She answers your marketing questions. And this actually takes place on, what day is your show? It's Monday or Tuesday? Monday?
Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, live.
Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time live, but then also on MediaScope Media.
Yes.
We are showing this Mondays at 6:30. Yes.
6:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
So you can watch, listen to her talk about marketing Tuesdays with the Biz Chicks at 11 a.m. live. And then you could also watch Ask TJ About Marketing on MediaScope Media Mondays at 6:30. So definitely check it out. And if you are not following or subscribe to MediaScope Media, I don't understand why. Make sure you subscribe. It is at MediaScope. What are you doing? We've got awesome programming. What are you doing? Yes, follow us. We've got great programming. And how can people reach you if they want to get into contact?
Well, if you want to reach me, it's Terry Johnson Online on your favorite platforms. As I like to say, you can reach me there, comment, DM, or you can go to terryjohnsononline.com/info. I'm working on that page, but that'll always be a place where you can reach me or ask a question. But those two places where you can find me.
Fantastical. Well, this has been, as I said, absolutely wonderful. Joan says, great conversation. Thank you. Food Plane says, great, tough tonight. I like Terry. Thanks for the stream. Absolutely, always. And Kim is giving some claps for you. Oh, Mark Ward is here. And he says, Mark. I'm not going to say this, Mark. Mark Ward is off.
Just read it. We're not going to say it. Yeah.
And of course, he will show up at the
Mark.
Mark. Anyway,
so
we're
wonderful. So
we're going to do this. Make sure that you reach out to Terry. She is a wonderful resource in terms of marketing. If you need any help with that, she's got all sorts of services. Make sure you reach out to her. And with that, we are going to end this, dear friends, and we'll end the way we always do. I love you for watching. I bid you adieu. You, myself, Terry Johnson, and all this great information, and Uncle Herschel, we're going to exit stage left. So we should be here next week. Look out for us. And if not, I will let you know, but we definitely probably will be here next week. All right, my friends. Cheers.
Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you on your way. The content it never strays. More positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted. Zero to fake. Hydration like